Week 11 of the NFL season is over, and this week, as a Texans fan, wasn't a very good week, and for the most part, I feel like this week was kind of boring in a way, like, just a handful of actual good games in my opinion, like, probably even less than a handful, probably like one or two, three maybe. But yeah, this week wasn't anything too spectacular in terms of competitiveness of the games. I mean, maybe I'm just saying that because I'm a Texans fan, but I felt like most of these games weren't really even all that close. Like I said, just like two or three of them were actually kind of good. But let's get into these games. Starting with the Thursday Night Football game. Steelers at Browns. Okay, we already know what we're going to talk about in this game. But before we get to that, I just want to say Mason Rudolph is complete trash. I mean, I don't see the guy getting better. The Browns, they're 4-6. Maybe their season isn't over, but it's kind of hard to see them coming back from 4-6. They pretty much have to win 6 in a row, and I don't see it. The Steelers, like I said, Mason Rudolph is trash. Don't think he can take them anywhere this season. I don't even think he's the replacement of Big Ben when Big Ben retires, who, by the way, should retire already. I thought he should have retired after the 2017 season because dude's washed, but Mason Rudolph, he ain't it. Now let's talk about the incident. Myles Garrett hitting Mason Rudolph with his helmet. I know you guys saw it. I mean, it's messed up, man. Like it's like you don't do that. You know, you don't rip someone's helmet off and then hit him with it. You know, like, if he would have swung hard enough, or if he would have hit the right spot, Mason Rudolph could have been severely injured. I don't know about actually killing the guy. I know some people out there on Twitter were saying, "Oh, you know, he could have killed him." Maybe, but I think that's a stretch. But he definitely could have injured him. Like, and like that's the thing, man. Like Myles Garrett, he's a good guy. He's a good person. Like, it was so out of character of Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett is like not this dirty player. He's not. If it was like, Richie Incognito or something, then, yeah, like, that guy's a, dirty person, dirty player. But not Myles Garrett, like, it caught me by surprise when it happened. Now, obviously, he got suspended. He got suspended indefinitely without pay. And I think that's proper punishment. Now let's talk about the Steelers center, Pouncey. He got suspended 3 games for defending Mason Rudolph. I don't think he should have been suspended. I think Myles Garrett should have been suspended, and I think Mason Rudolph also should have been suspended for kind of instigating it, because he tried to rip off Myles Garrett's helmet first. So, I don't think Pouncey should have been suspended. I do think Mason Rudolph should have been suspended. And I think Myles Garrett was rightfully suspended without pay. Now, maybe Roger Goodell saw how bad Mason Rudolph is, and, he decided, hey, you know what? Let's punish the Steelers by not suspending Mason Rudolph and leaving him in there. I know that's highly unlikely, but it's cool to pretend sometimes. And, I'm just going to go ahead and pretend that's what actually happened because it's kind of funny that way. And, who doesn't like it being funny? So, yeah. Let's just go with that. Next game. Texans at Ravens. This game was hyped up to be an amazing game. Shootout between Lamar Jackson and Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson did not show up. Complete disappointment a complete embarrassment. And the Ravens, well, they just keep on rolling, man. They beat the Seahawks, arguably the best team in the NFC. Destroyed the Patriots, second best team in the AFC. Destroyed the Texans, third best team in the AFC. The Ravens, they're on the league of their own right now. That's pretty much all I have to say about that. Moving on. Cowboys at Lions. Cowboys won this game 35-27. I don't think this game really should have been that close. I mean, Matthew Stafford didn't play, but I don't know. Maybe this Cowboys defense isn't all that good. Not as good as like it was last year. Not as good as what everyone thought going into the season. Because you let a backup quarterback put up 27 on you, man. Like, come on. They didn't even have Kerryon Johnson. How you let that happen? Dak Prescott, though, he went off in this game. Ezekiel Elliott, man, like, I guess holding out in the offseason didn't help him out because he doesn't look so good so far this season. And I don't think he's going to get much better because it's been, 10, 11 weeks in the NFL already. And if he's not back into shape by now, I don't think he's going to get into shape this season at least. Like, Zeke this season, I'm not even sure if he's like a top 5 running back, man. Like, I don't know what's going on with him. I'm going to just go ahead and say it's being out of shape because he missed the whole offseason because holding out. But I don't know, man. Next game, Bills at Dolphins. Bills beat Dolphins 37-20. I mean, what else did you expect? I mean, the Bills are clearly a better team. Dolphins tanking, even though they've won the last 2 weeks. Yeah, like, not much to talk about in this game, honestly. Next game, Jaguars at Colts. Colts won this game 33-13. It was the return of Nick Foles, and yeah, the Jaguars, well, they didn't look too good. Marlon Mack completely gashed them in the run game. Marlon Mack actually got hurt. I think he broke his hand. I think that's what I read. Something with his hand. He's going to be out for a while. He's already rolled out for next game. But the Colts just completely, gashed the Jaguars in the run game, and the Jaguars really couldn't get anything going on offense. I mean, they only scored 13 points. Maybe they were better off with Gardner Minshew. I don't know, but it's interesting, man. I like quarterback controversy. Quarterback controversy is interesting, especially when it's not happening to the Texans. But hey, who knows, man? Maybe the right call would have been to stick with Gardner Minshew instead of going to Nick Foles. But hey, they paid Nick Foles all this money, so you kind of have to go with Nick Foles because you paid him all that money. Next game, Falcons at Panthers. Falcons won 29-3. For the second straight week, the Falcons have blown out a divisional opponent. Last week it was the Saints. This week it was the Panthers. The Panthers, keep in mind, coming into this game, they were 5-4. So they're not exactly some pushover. Maybe this Falcons team, like I said last week, maybe they finally figured it out. Maybe they finally turned things around. And just like I said last week, it's a little too late, man. At this point, they're 3-7. Even if they win out, they'll be 9-7. And in the stacked NFC, I mean, they have no shot at making the playoffs. Absolutely no shot. The Seahawks and the Vikings currently have a grasp of the 2 wildcard spots. And they're not letting go of them. The Seahawks, I believe, they're 8-2. The Vikings are 8-3 or something like that. Yeah, they're not going to let go of those wildcard spots. So, Atlanta, too late, man. Too late. Maybe next year. Next game, Broncos at Vikings. How in the world do you blow a 20-0 halftime lead. Like, how in the world does that happen? Like, honestly, no, okay, actually, no. Let me take that back. How in the world do you let the Broncos go up 20-0 on you, Minnesota? Maybe we should start there, because I think the Vikings are clearly a better team than the Broncos. In the first place, Broncos shouldn't have been up 20-0 on you. But, they did come back and won 27-23. So, I guess I'll excuse it. Good win by the Vikings. Like I said earlier, they're 8-3. They have a good grasp of one of those wild card spots. They're in a great place right now in terms of the playoff picture. As for the Broncos, 3-7. Well, their season's over. I feel like their season's been over. So, not much else to say there, honestly. Moving on. Saints at Buccaneers. The Saints beat the Buccaneers 34-17. Michael Thomas keeps on balling out, man. I think he's going to break Marvin Harrison's record. I think the record is like 143 receptions. Well, Michael Thomas has like 90-something receptions right now with how many games left? Like 6-7 games left? Yeah, he's going to break that record, man. I think he's going to break it. And, he deserves it, man. He's a great receiver. The Saints, arguably the best team in the NFC. And the Buccaneers, well, the Buccaneers, man. Never know what you're going to get out of them. 1 week they'll be good. Next week they'll get blown out. You just don't know with these Buccaneers. But moving on. Next game, Jets at Redskins. Jets won this game 34-17. Not much to say about this game. Both these teams suck. Wait a minute. Actually, there is something I want to talk about. Dwayne Haskins. I liked him coming out of college, and, I think he can be a good quarterback. I saw this video on Twitter. Dwayne Haskins goes up to his O-line and tells them, "What do you need me to do? How can I help you?" Because Dwayne Haskins has been taking a beating. So he goes up to his O-line and tells him that. O-line looked completely uninterested. They pretty much ignored the guy, man. That pisses me off. How can you be a veteran players, and just completely ignore your quarterback? That right there, it tells me Washington is just garbage, man. The culture over there is garbage, and I feel bad for Dwayne Haskins. He's a rookie. He's trying to help his team out. He's trying to win, and his teammates, his offensive line, who's supposed to be protecting him, they just ignore him? That pisses me off. I hope somehow, some way, Dwayne Haskins can get out of Washington, because that culture over there, it's completely garbage, and it starts from the top. Ownership. The Redskins, I believe, they're the worst run team in the NFL, and I hope that they continue to suck, because that's real messed up, man. You're a veteran player, man. Just whatever. Let's move on. Next game, Cardinals at 49ers. The Niners won this game 36-26. Well, that was a closer game because the Niners got a garbage time defensive touchdown, and the Niners, well, they just keep on winning, and the Cardinals, well, their season's been over, but Kyler Murray, in 2 games versus the 49ers, he's really done a good job, and keep in mind that this 49ers defense is considered by many the best defense in the NFL. So, hey, man, Kyler Murray, I thought the Cardinals were stupid for drafting a quarterback in the first round in back-to-back years. I thought they were dumb for hiring that head coach. But so far, it's all looking very promising. Get him an offensive line this offseason, some defensive help, and this Cardinals team can probably compete in that very competitive NFC West. But let's move on. Bengals at Raiders. Raiders won this game 17-10. Like I've been saying since like week 4-ish, I think this Raiders team's on the come up, and they're currently 6-4. But currently on the outside looking in on the AFC playoff picture, they currently have the 7th seed. Houston has the 6th seed as of now, because Houston beat them with the head-to-head tiebreaker earlier this season. So I don't know how things will end up for the Raiders this season, but it looks promising. The future looks bright with the Raiders. I won't say in Oakland, because obviously they're moving to Vegas, which I think is dumb. But still, though, John Gruden, a lot of people criticized him for the moves he made, trading Amari Cooper, Khalil Mack. But, yeah, that Raiders team, young and good. So Patrick Mahomes might have some competition over there in the AFC West in the coming future. As for the Bengals, well, 0-10, they suck. Not much else to say about them. Moving on. Patriots at Eagles. Patriots won this game 17-10. I mean, Tom Brady and that Patriots offense looked anemic. Carson Wentz looked like garbage. That's all I'm going to say about this game. I don't think it was good defense. I think it was horrific offense. It was just hard to watch, man. Brady, he's starting to look 52. And Wentz, maybe we were wrong about Wentz, because he's got a good O-line. He's got good tight ends, decent receivers, and couldn't make anything happen. He looked lost out there. And I don't think it was the Patriots defense either. Like I said, I think it was just flat out bad offense. He had Carson Wentz. He had Tom Brady missing throws. And especially from Brady, that's so uncharacteristic. But for Wentz, I feel like that's kind of been the theme this season for him, man. I don't know. Maybe the injuries got to him. Maybe he has an injury we don't know about. Or maybe he just sucks. Who knows? But let's move on. Next game, Bears at Rams. Rams win this game 17-7. Both these teams suck offensively. I mean, they say Mitchell Trubisky had a hip injury, but he got benched. Trubisky sucks. It's about damn time he got benched, and he don't deserve to be a starter. He sucks. And, maybe Jared Goff is next, because he's not very good either. But, yeah, both these teams, the Bears, 4-6, they're not making the playoffs. The Rams, 6-4. Technically, they're still in it, but like I said earlier, Vikings and Seahawks, they're holding on to those wild card spots, and I don't think the Rams can take it from them. Next and final game, Chiefs at Chargers in Mexico City. Chiefs won 24-17. All I gotta say, man, Phillip Rivers, he's one of my favorite players in the NFL, but it's time. It's time to hang him up. 4 interceptions today. Well, yeah, today, against the Chiefs. Last week, 3, could have been 4, versus the Raiders. No, that's not good. This Chargers offense, yeah, maybe you could blame the OC, but Rivers looks washed up. It hurts me to say because, like I said, I love Phillip Rivers, one of my favorite quarterbacks in the NFL, but he just doesn't look right out there anymore. He looks like Matt Schaub when Matt Schaub was throwing all those pick sixes. At the end of the game, he made an amazing throw to Mike Williams, and Mike Williams caught it. It was like a 50-yard reception. He just threw it. Beautiful pass, beautiful catch. But then, I think it was second down. I think he was targeting Austin Eckler in the end zone. He threw the ball to the end zone. Instead, though, he didn't throw it to Eckler. He threw it right at the Kansas City Chiefs player. I think Rivers is done, man. Like, it sucks. He didn't get a chance to win a championship. And he won't. I think the whole 2004 quarterback draft class, I think it was 2004, yeah? The Big Ben, Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers. It's time to, hang him up. It sucks, but, the time comes when it's just time. And for Phillip Rivers, I think it's time. And, Chargers, they fall to 4-7. Their season's over. The Chiefs, they go to 7-4. Their season keeps on going, obviously. But, yeah. It sucks talking about Rivers in this way, but, yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys for today. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.